it was about raising awareness for the Juvenile Diabetes Research Fund. It was about raising awareness for Eynsham Foodbank. As of this week, £1,518 was raised for the Juvenile Diabetes Research Fund, £1,364 raised for Eynsham Foodbank, plus an awful lot of food.
Get ready your breakfast with Rich Smith.
Right, we're catching up with Rich now from the Melting Pot, of course. Morning, Rich. How you doing, mate?
Not bad. I'm also glad that we haven't got a monsoon outside. I'm also very glad we didn't have a monsoon at the weekend. Just gone as well.
Yeah, of course. I mean, lucked out massively. Of course, it was Lion Aid. We spoke to a few people last week about it, including Becky, the Eynsham Foodbank, of course, Mid-Air as well. We're performing, and everything came together. Everything was wonderful. Let us know how it was on site, Rich.
It was an incredible day. It really showed how the village community comes together for a common cause. Deadly, bless him, works his socks off, running that sound desk, including sort of sound checks. He was glued to that thing for about 12 and a half hours. There were 12 different acts. We had double basses. We had bands with 5 vocals. We had trumpet players. Then we had John Otway, which is, a cacophony within one person. And bless him, he stayed remarkably calm, did Deadly, who I know is listening right now. The sound was excellent. The bands were superb. I mean, there were a few former guests of the show. So the Cockroaches, they went down a storm Mid-Air, we've mentioned. The Mighty Barricane, as they will forever be known. John Otway, London Graffiti, who we're getting on the show imminently, amongst others. But I wouldn't want to discredit any of the other acts as well. Spiralites were just phenomenal. They played a great set of just great ska music, and I think they really got the crowd dancing, and it just built and built and built and built. It was so busy. You didn't really notice when you're in the thick of it. I know this from working at Riverside and County Road Carnival and other such events. You don't necessarily notice until you look up how busy something is.
Yeah. You're so in the moment, aren't you? You're so in the moment, and then you
suddenly think, I need to go and recharge my glass or spend a penny, and you basically look up and see this sea of well-meaning faces, and you think, my Lord, there are so many people in this garden, and that really, really hit. We were very lucky with the weather. It didn't, apart from a little bit of rain, it was pretty much dry throughout, and it was just an incredible team effort. I think Becky worked her socks off. Deadly did. Pete Moore, we've mentioned, all the bar staff, all the volunteers, and let's put it this way. It was about raising awareness for the Juvenile Diabetes Research Fund. It was about raising awareness for Eynsham Foodbank. As of this week, £1,518 was raised for the Juvenile Diabetes Research Fund, £1,364 raised for Eynsham Foodbank, plus an awful lot of food. So as Becky was saying last week, entry was buy a non-perishable item of food. Becky had crates full, and I think that's going to make a huge difference to people that really need it the most. So it was great to see the bands. It was great that people got up and danced. It's great to raise awareness. So the best part of £3,000 in donations plus the food. It was it was a wonderful day, and it was an absolute honour to be part of it. And it's the old back and knees have just about forgiven me now, because looking.
We're not getting any younger, Rich.
We're not. I tell you what, mate, we're really not, because I think looking stuff hurts a bit more now. But it was great. It was really good. So I'm sure there'll be other events.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to sort of say, and a tip of the cap to anyone that went down there. That's a phenomenal effort from everyone involved. A tip of the cap to Eynsham as well for being that community place where something like this can go on, that you can raise a load of money, raise a load of awareness, have some great bands on, and almost kill Deadly with a sound desk for 13 hours. Right, let's move on to tonight's show. We've got an absolute cracker on the Melting Pot at 9.
We have. So we've been doing this show 2 and a bit years now. Somebody that we have wanted on the show from pretty much day one is Adam Franklin. Who, dear listener? Well, Adam Franklin has been part of, the local, national and international music scene since the mid-80s. He's fronted bands such as Shake Appeal, Swerve Driver, and more recently Bolts of Melody. He is a highly respected cult artist around the world. His band Swerve Driver got a huge following in the States and a fairly sizable following in the UK. Just a lovely guy. He has made some astonishing music, and he still is. We got 3 exclusives from him this evening, which he's gifted to us. So that's going to be great. Talking of new music, we've got brand new tracks from Echo Vector X, Peck, In-Flight Movie, Killer Kowalski, and the recent Tiger Mendoza and Emma Hunter track. We've got a remix of that by He Didn't. So there's a lot of new music, plus the usual Deadly's Oxfordshire classic, plus the usual previously unknown rock facts that may or may not be true about people that have played Oxford, but clearly are true. I mean, why would we wouldn't lie to you, would we?
No, we've been listening for 2.5 years. We know that there's some truth in them.
Absolutely, it's all true. It's on CFAX. And the usual madness. So it's a good-natured show this week. We've enjoyed putting this one together. And I was just saying off air, there's a lot of new music coming in now. We've got a lot of stuff that's been sent through to us, for which we're very grateful. Because without the artists, without the music, there wouldn't be a show. No, so I'm most grateful to that.
It's really nice. We mentioned community about what happened in Eynsham with Lion-Aid, which was fantastic. But also community. It's nice that, like, you just rattled off, remixes from He Didn't and Emma Hunter collaborating with this. But it feels like that Oxfordshire music community, it always just gets together and produces the goods.
People seem to work with each other. They seem to support each other. They encourage each other. People like Tiger Mendoza, Ian. I mean, he's an integral part. Octavia Freud's another. These are individuals that actually get involved. They promote gigs as much as they're actually part of gigs. They work with other artists. That's a lovely thing about Oxford. It's too small a place for ego, and I think that people that approach music and their art with the right attitude fit in. And you do see a lot of you go to gigs and you see a lot of other promoters and artists in the crowd cheering those artists on. I mean, it's a year this weekend since we did the Melting Point gig, the Red Lion, when we had Barricane, we had Tamara, and of course we had the Mighty Deadbeat Apostles. And at that gig, there were so many other artists in the audience, and in fact that night, many of them then got up on stage and collaborated during the set, and it just shows that community, which is a wonderful thing to be part of, and long may that continue. And there's so much great music coming out. I think what excites me the most is, whilst we're chatting now, somebody's probably just, there's probably brand new exciting tracks I haven't heard yet, we haven't heard yet, and we really do want to hear. So, at the risk of it being a 6-hour show, do keep sending the music through. We do listen to absolutely everything that we're sent, and if we don't get to play your stuff immediately, there's no malice intended there. It's just the constraints of trying to fit it within. Well, it was meant to be a 1-hour show, wasn't it? That went out the window.
I was going to say that. I'll take the blame for that. It's supposed to be a 1-hour show. We get 2 hours and 15 minutes every week. So you're bending the rules as always, Rich. As always, just a bit. Just finally, I have just got a quick message from Deadly saying you don't kill him that easily. You're going to have to think of another way.
Cheers, Deadly. And I will see Deadly later at Studio C, as we call it. As we start plotting more madness. Rich, what a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, mate. I'm really looking forward to tonight's show. It is an absolute cracker. It's tonight from 9, The Melting Pot, with Rich. And as long as we keep him alive long enough, Deadly will be on there as well. Cheers, Rich.
Cheers, Rich. See you later.
Brilliant stuff. I would have thought two people called Rich doing things at Get Radio. It's great, isn't it? Make sure you check out the Melting Pot tonight from Mike. Cracking show. If you love your local music, Rich has just reeled off tons and tons and tons of it. It's all on tonight's show.